on HLTV for a LAN match. And all of his previous performances, Jay, where he dropped lower ratings, the team were winning 3 or 4 rounds, mate. They almost brought that back to overtime, right? You've got to see so much more out of Diha.
Yeah, Haji might be feeling a little bit hard done by being the highest rated player for his side by quite a margin. And maybe a little bit of an earlier involvement from the poll may be enough. FaZe on the T side start for their opponent's map pick, illwill. Love Mirage the same, as FaZe also have a positive win rate on it, especially in the tier 2 space. Pistols are live with 2 sets of jewelries on Haji and Vladin. Upgrades pretty minimal here for FaZe.
And we always know if you compete in tier 2, you play a lot more tournaments, you play a lot more officials, you're always going to have more maps on record. But the pick rate is just crazy. FaZe have picked 4 Mirages on HLTV in the last 3 months, and illwill have picked this map 18 times. They've got so many reps. But it's now about being able to apply to that next level, to the tier 1 caliber. Walking through their own Consmoke is the bomb carrier of Brokey.
And the smokes are in from the C2 sideline as they're expecting some sort of shenanigans out here. Flashing their way in also towards this ramp access. Now Brokey will start to make his move. Jacob going to start to rotate back as Twist makes some noise back on short, trying to enter into this B execution here. Apartments are going to be a bit of a concern. Haji and 7kick are tagged up here. Julie's in from 1 man. Haji will take down the first. Jacob and Carrigan strike back with 2 more. Madden returns to a 3-on-3. But Vladim's caught back by that late lurk from Frozen into that A bomb site. The bomb's still committed towards B though. They haven't got that information, however. The bomb will get planted and they're still focused on Frozen.
And now they've got to deal with him because they've already committed to having players deep. Frozen is just going to be so annoying.
Back to turn, he finds that 1 gap. Tries to fly through the murder hole. Now they're aware of his position. They get Jacob down. Brokey solo on the bomb site. They're racing him real quick. Frozen will get Dia. And now it's all on Madden. 2 kills so far. Needs a triple. Needs a quadra in the clutch. Will tap that bomb once. Try force Frozen out. Doesn't see him at the window. Look towards the market doorway and dome him in an instant. Madden, excellent clutch to a pistol win.
Well, unfortunately there from Frozen, he just knows to himself, everyone else has got to live on that bomb site. Just try and waste as much time as possible. If I'm coming in late from market, I can't really afford to be in a 1v1. They're scared that he was sticking potentially even a 5-second, even a 10-second. You just don't have that info. illwill come out with the pistol win, but if you're FaZe, you're thinking bomb plant, 4 casualties, yeah, we're buying up straight away.
Excellent start from illwill's part, and from Madden in particular. Bomb plant bonus is still secured by FaZe. They're going to bring more in rifles for Galil's. Only 3 M4s for illwill to contrast that. Tech9 or Carrigan, maybe the first port of call here, looking to enter him from ramp.
They're contact heavy for Brokey. Really good timing against a CT player. The whiffs is pretty heavy, but they still capitalize on the kill. And now 7kick just has to give up the space. Well, this round's over already.
Yeah, wow. FaZe still not able to give up any advantages, at least not even when they should have done. Exploited the timing, gap in a fence to walk out of Palace. And as you say, with Carrigan's kill, 5-on-3, it's nothing that illwill can do. They have to accept that fate, even if they stick around to try and get some exits. Carrigan was tagged, but nothing more presents. It's an opening pistol for illwill, but responded to immediately by FaZe Clan on the response.
And for illwill, they've won 15 out of 19 LAN matches on HLTV this year. They've only lost to Monty twice and Gamer Legion twice. And I think when we look at both of those organizations, right, I don't know if we would classify them as tier 1 teams, but you would say that they play within the tier 1 circuit. They go to the odd tier 1 event. Gamer Legion is sort of on that cusp between tier 1 and tier 2. For FaZe, they just don't go to tier 2 tournaments. They just really solely focus on the tier 1 circuit. Always helps when you're in the VRS circle that if you can just win the odd game here or there, you basically don't get pushed out, and that's why we keep seeing them at the IEM Krakau's, the PGL Cluj Pokers, the Blast Open Rotterdams. But it's all about a good run here. Now that is a very good force buy, and for illwill, yes, you've still got 2 M4s to work with, but Dia and 7kick know themselves, we need to create something of this round.
FaZe. No, they're at the forefront position, hoping that illwill have let go of their advantage in the previous now into the extra SMG for this round. 2 M4s were saved over, so there's still some threat on Dia and 7 kicking Vlad. SMG up close and personal against Jacob. Does not get much. The kill goes the way of the T-side player. Madden did catch one player on the other side of the map. One mid lurker. Dia, flashbang fading, but not fading fast enough. Jacob finds him. The bomb will be secured. Twist in the mid lurk. Gonna get caught off guard by 7 kicks. We're back to a 3-on-3.
They might actually go for this now that they've got a kill. Frozen's in a really good position and just trying to drop util, draw 7 kick into the open.
Sends one man back. There's no kits in play. As they scramble to find extra weapons, they do eventually start to fall away. Start to look for exit frags on the 2 players on the apartments. Maybe 7 kick in reposition CT spawn as well. Either way, this will not be a retake anymore. illwill. You can see back another to the FaZe clan. 7 kick maybe onto another exit frag or 2. Indeed, one comes easy. Second one not so much. Frozen tagged to 4. He should have escaped the bomb blast here. No, he won't actually. He doesn't get that far away. So overall expensive round for FaZe. Will illwill up the force buy?
And they probably will. They'll look at this moment saying, we've got off to slow starts in every map so far in the playoffs. We can't let it happen again. We've got to try and reset them. That's a real shame. They get a very good pick against the A-Lurg, and that position is perfect for Vladen, right? It's an off-angle, crosshair placement, looks pretty good for the MP9. I think it's just a bit unfortunate that you're not getting a kill. And then, I mean, Dia on the bomb site, he just got hit by so many flashes, didn't he? He was just struggling so much to be able to fend off against that util.
Early into this round, Jacob's going to find Madden beyond that smoke at the mid window. 2 players, 3 players facing him at the time. 7 kick just going to try and find an angle, or at least just try and sell them the idea that there are players here. Meanwhile, Carrigan's walk up into the apartments has been evaded by CT contact. Oh, backs turn, man seen. Carrigan's going to now start to walk out. Engage found easy, Vlad in the fall, and that probably is round over again so early. Twist might get caught back in the lurk up in mid, and Nades will get him. The bomb's on its way in, and there's no real retaking angles to work from.
No, there's nothing here. It's going to have to be another save, and you're going to go down 1-3, then 1-4. Oh, this is very difficult. You almost want to see if something can arise, but no, there is going to be absolutely nothing gained. Very good start again here from FaZe, and I think for illwill, it's just got to be that frustration of, even at times when we've won a pistol, we've then lost the reset, right? Or when we've maybe won the first gun round, we've then been reset the next. No matter what they've done, they've just always got off to slow starts.
Carrigan's gunning for more right here. Oh, Dia caught napping. Didn't even fire the bullet, so it gets even worse for the buy state of the CT side. Through to the border FaZe, Haji. Oh, completely whiffed the spray. I thought he was going to get Carrigan. But in the end, only 7 kick stays in with that Galil out. Oh dear, this is not looking good, illwill.
No, not at all. When you see that from the POV of Dia, and then you see the exact same thing going on from Haji, you know that tilt is seriously kicking in now. Could it have been a different game if Adam S is here? Difficult to play fantasy, right? It's difficult to have that in the back of your mind. But from how they played in the group stage, from how they played against Beckpick in the quarters, it's as if we're looking at a different team.
Consigned to another major deficit. Even the Galil boosted up for 7 kick, trying to bear down upon Jacob's position. Couldn't get more than half HP worth of damage. And killed off by the AK in an instant. And again, illwill showing signs of lacking. Dia and Vladen on 0 kills so far in this matchup. Haji going to try and provide something more against Carrigan. It's a cleaner spray this time. Broken's going to try and respond back in the apartment's entrance, seeing one player moving on to the CT basis. The rest of the A bomb site's been taken on the other side of the map, so there's nothing really that illwill can do in trying to deny the bomb plant. A retake also, just without Kevlar, without kits, like you're asking for miracles again.
And even though it's obvious and it's clear that FaZe are in a slump, their ceiling is incredibly high. I mean, the last 2 years, they spent 11 weeks at #1 in the world on VRS. It's a bit comical to a lot of the Tier 2 viewers to see today that teams like a K27 or Eyeballers are even ranked higher than them. But that is just a ranking perspective, right? That's just because they've been struggling so much at Tier 1. When they click, when they find that classic FaZe magic, you get a series like this where you're just pumping the opposition. I mean, 11-3 at one point out on Nuke. Yeah, it took a little while to close, but you have that scoreline, and then you have a look on how some of these rounds are going down on Mirage. illwill just aren't even competing. They're not even getting a looking right now.
It's disappointing from a side that we thought could give a fight to FaZe, that we thought could surprise a lot of people. Truly a case of a rising team versus a floundering squad.
And perhaps it just talks about being able to be ready for the moment, right? The pressure's so high for FaZe to qualify to the major, and yet that pressure doesn't look like it's on them at all.
No. Not in the slightest in this particular stage as well. illwill. Find again, opening by 7kick on Carrigan out of the apartments this time. It's all a lurk play with the second man known. Tension not drawn back from the ace site as Brokey's Orp peeks in and catches Hadji. Rotations back from one CT player will be held away at jungle. Meanwhile, Vladen stands alone on the A defensive. Watching Palace right now, but it's not an execution from FaZe.
At least he knows that there's nothing else that's approaching out from Palace or A main. So 7kick can keep his eyes locked out here to the B apartments. Very passive on the apps lurk. We might even see mid retake coming through from the T side. They've got plenty of time. They've got plenty of util. And for illwill, they need to start searching now. They've re-smoked off to the apartments. Dia's not seeing much towards mid. He's getting slightly wide up on short so he can spot in towards connector. And Madden's going to clear from window room as well.
Seconds of the clock. Teams are extending towards mid in the connected control. Madden, smoke on a ramp, M4 to peak, does not spot his presence. AK teammate of Vladen could get caught on timing. Footsteps were heard, Frozen. Ready to peek him. As soon as his teammates start acting out towards the connector access. Vladen sees 7kick losing his lifeline. Twist will go down. Frozen will get Vladen in the end. 3-on-3, 15 seconds. Swing back to that bomb carrier. Brokey defended by his teammates and the utility damage. Swing back from Dia, trying to transfer to the second. Doesn't quite get there. The T's can re-pick up that bomb. Shot from 7kick. Misses out on the reface. And FaZe will take another.
Oh, Frozen just looks so good. Yes, he's got info that Vladen's out there towards A main, but there's so many players that would think one or two things. First off, trying to get that kill too quickly and making noise and swinging heavy in the smoke. And then the other one is probably waiting too long, right? Thinking if I walk through, I might just die. I might just give away an opening kill, but he times it just so right with the pressure and the footsteps coming up from connector. Vladen's POV is completely in the other direction. He's waiting for the swing to come out from the rest of the A players rather than behind that smoke in A main. And that's just quality, pure experience. And illwill may have had a little bit of a moment. Some good picks going their way, but even still, FaZe find a way to close the round down.
I think illwill are starting to get nervous here. Taking tacticals. Still presenting nothing. illwill fully in control on FaZe's part. Brokey shot misses out towards the apartments. He gets netted to 50 HP as a result. So a positive start is still available for illwill. Not the kill this time though.
Twist saw Dia quite aggressive out there towards short, and Twist has just been maintaining this top mid boxes area quite a lot in these defaults. Re-smoke in from illwill, and you start looking at the numbers, they're again quite low. I mean, Vladen came into this series as the highest rated player for the entire team. He dropped a 1.38 rating across the group stage in the first round of the playoffs. Had a decent map number 1, but here on map 2, 0-4 is the A site anchor. He's getting bullied.
Slow start from him once again. Same sort of deal on Nuke. Go out together at the tail end of the map up. It's part of the reason why illwill are down so early and they didn't recover from that deficit previously. Swings out from mid for Hadji and Mudden. Both players go down. Only one's taken back from FaZe as a result. Brokey can now start extending. Vlad and Dia trying to find another defensive, but it leaves only one player alone. 7 kicks, AWP can fire back on Carrigan. Twist is caught in the meantime, so a 2v2 of Vladden's demise. 7 kick doesn't know where to look here, to sight, to con. Bomb's been dropped, the Dia will get Brokey, that's defensive held, but Frozen gets him back, and he will burn the man after the flag, but the kill comes in from 7 kick to keep a round together for illwill.
Yeah, well done from 7 kick, some very good moments from him. And the Romanian AWP, a guy that has made his name known on Nexus, but really out here on illwill. And it's funny, I mean, Nexus are going through a complete rebuilding phase at the moment. They were a team in Tier 2 for years and years that was always a decent contender. BTN's not there anymore, Zello's not there anymore either. I just wonder, again, with the international offers from some of these guys, if Nexus come knocking, looking at him to try and rebuild a Romanian project, does he think about moving over? I mean, it's difficult, right? Because it's already happened. Demana got an offer from Wildcard, and what happened? Decided to leave pretty much straight away.
Talk about the issues of August projects, and any one of these players could end up just completely departing. illwill have already taken a hit as a result of losing their IGL, still playing without an IGL. It's not a true IGL. Part of the reason why they have looked so inconsistent. 7 kick, leaning up against Carrigan, sending that utility out of the T-ramp area will get caught off. The players in Palace will now be seen though. Are they going to call misdirection of alert? Will Madden check for this? He certainly counted for it. Eyes set up there. Jacob starts his walk, sees his man in the open, Madden down.
And they're still thinking that there's a player out towards A main, so they're right to expect it and put some util down. They need to try and force the plant. They need to take some space. They'll probably look to try and take CT. Dia
just barely misses out that flashbang, refacing in. Jacob will find the kill. Advantage, he's low HP. 4 on 3, Hadji can't find the angle. Flashbang once again, he still gets his kill. Transfer of Frozen's a lot more difficult though. And now they're down a man again for illwill on this retake. Vladden's desperately searching as his 7 kick. Leaning up to sight. Checking CT, Brokey. Just seen a Darkbeat, checks upstairs at the right moment. The 7 kick goes down, as is Vladden on the counter backstab. And FaZe continue to fight back from illwill. Every round they gain, FaZe seem to respond with at least 2 or 3. Just can't catch a break at all here.
And it's just unfortunate that these slow starts are just affecting the economy, aren't they? Again, I'm going to read off the score lines. 0-5 on Mirage versus BetClick. 1-6 on Anubis. 0-6 on Nuke versus FaZe. 1-5 on Mirage. You cannot have 4 maps back-to-back in the playoffs where you get off to slow starts. You just give the opposition too much of a lead.
We're talking about a 10-2 potential best-case scenario for FaZe. I mean, we saw what happened at 9-3 for illwill. They draw a comeback at the end when they finally surge into life, but one good clutch was all it took for FaZe to shut that map down, and at exact same scenario right here. The Pistols will get an opening on Carrigan, but 7 kick has fallen in trade, so it's not a man advantage. No investment, looking towards the rifles in the next round, but FaZe are looking to win the half.
Well, at least FaZe know in the back of their minds that they will not have to play Nuke in the next best of 3. Now, of course, if they face big, we know the Germans' permaban is Nuke. So we're going to get a slightly different best of 3 veto. We're going to get a slightly different edge in the map pool. And the favourites are both looking to try and get 2-0s, because I think that brings a lot of confidence in towards that final and in an all-important game.
Fight from Brokey, D is going to get caught. Deagle standing for Madden, missing all his shots. Hadji alone and dead on the A-bomb site. Vladden, 1v4. Out of the round before it even started, realistically. Only 1 kill found in this map. FaZe have the half here.
And I might rate Vladden. I might say that he's a really good player for a stand-in team like for illwill. The one asterisk that's always going to be at his name is just the lack of experience. This is his third LAN in over 2 years. He's just been grinding in Tier 2 online. That's how Bleed were participating in the majority of tournaments. When he was on Partisan with Emmy and Kindo, they didn't play at top level in Tier 2. So unless you're with the very best organizations, you just don't get the treatment to go to LAN and to get the feeling of what it's like to constantly, day in, day out, play in studios, play in arenas. And that's always going to give you the edge when you're a FaZe, when you're a big, when you're going up against those kind of players.
Oh well. Down by 5 rounds. FaZe are the squad in full control. Have been from the word go. In the second map. Again, you would hope that there'd be some level of culpability around illwill, similar to their own map pick in the series, considering how, again, it has found its success in the LAN environment, especially. Beating Betclic earlier, beating Ecstatic and Parkin, beating Twist and Jacob here for Dia in the mid-access. Vladden comes up with a kill of his own, man on the back of the B-bomb site. Finally, some success for the illwill side, taking them long enough to find a confident round like this with all 5 men alive. But now comes the next task. Can they follow it up?
And I think you can just feel that the pressure is not only getting to them, but the way that they look on the player cams. When they were against Betclic, they were getting really loud. When we saw them yesterday versus X0 Tenacity, they were also one of those teams going up against ex-teammates that were giving it the emotion. Because it's been such an uncomfortable series, because they've really been slapped around, they don't look energetic at all.
The mental game weighing down upon them, and why would you be happy in high fives and when you're down by this kind of margin? Mentality has been a key talking point for some teams in these best of threes across the group stage. And for illwill, down in this kind of position where you're down and have to win this map to stay alive in the semi-finals. Haji will find Carrigan, so another opening again for the Frenchman. Brokey will return on Vladden though. Again, that liability at this stage here, 4-on-4 for the man advantage, and he continues to underwhelm.
Yeah, Brokey has been stellar. Really good on the AWP today. Had a great series earlier on against Cybershoke. Haji searching. Good info in the 4v4. 50-odd seconds on the clock and he's seeing nothing towards A, so it will rotate Diha back over. Now this AWP from 7kick on the B bomb site, not only does he need to get 1, but when he drops down towards bench or from the backside, he has to get 2.
Stand to attention. Misses his shot. It's only a tag on Jacob. Counter flash is involved as Dia sprayed back through the apartment's window. Can't get any damage of his own. Right, Jacob's still trying to play entry. Orpa could get pressured by his presence alone. Deals with Frozen at least close range. Jacob with 1 pick and a second. And once again, it's Polish dominance from FaZe. As Twist finds another, illwill continue to collapse. 1 good round, 1 followed up, 8-3 for FaZe Clan.
Just so sick individually. Had a really good clutch to close out there on Nuke, and then you just see the crosshair placement, just immaculate. Madden's got nothing. And what a shame with the buy state. Double AWPs and double AKs. I don't think you could ask for better weaponry.
And Madden being revealed in this 1v3 needs a miracle. Can't even hit the kill shot on Jacob. He got 3 kills on 2 points of health. It's looking like another 9-3 half here, Dwayne, and I don't think illwill are going to come back this time.
And maybe it's a moment to even describe the head coach that's right now the interim of Groovy for FaZe. You and IJ, we used to cast him a lot back in the day. He was a tier 2 player on Ungentium, on Illumina. He played with Furlan on AGO for years and years. And while he might not be here for the future, I think getting a team ready for a tier 2 LAN and getting them ready for tier 2 competition, it's probably the right person that you want.
And the short time might work out for FaZe. In this matchup, it doesn't really need to do much. It'd be like, guys, they're dogs. You know, we're doing really well right now. They themselves are not. 7 kicks up, cut down by Brokey, instantly killed off on the short access. Carrigan expecting Hadji's face. The flashbang doesn't affect the Dane. And FaZe up by 2 men already in this round.
Well, I certainly wouldn't have thought that FaZe would have had an easier time versus illwill than Glowing's Cybershock.
Yeah.
I mean, even though we weren't covering that game, we were watching it, and Cybershock are a side that have not even had Fenneman in their last few lands. I think with the visa issues and travel restrictions that he's had, they've oftentimes had stand-ins. They even had Han playing one of the Drac lands recently, so a CIS team communicating in English. I mean, it's just a disaster. I wouldn't even say they're a high-end Tier 2 team. They're just an average team in Tier 2. And yet, that game was quite close. It was quite neck and neck. We saw some very competitive scorelines.
And here against literally FaZe's toughest task in the competition, they are absolutely dominating them. 1 on 5 of Ladden, still 2 kills. And we'll land a good shot on Jacob. But needs 4 more to clip this one, deny another 9-3 half of FaZe. Not going to happen at Carrigan's watch. There it is, 6 that are good for FaZe. And the only word that comes to my mind right now is disappointment. I hope that if illwill were going to go down, they would go down swinging. And that just hasn't happened here.
It is a very disappointing, let's say, first map, second map, tournament exit. These guys are very solid in Tier 2. I mean, they've had back-to-back LAN Grand Finals. They've been able to eliminate top LAN teams like Ecstatic, Sinners, BC Game. Online, they're winning titles. They're going deep in almost every competition. They never go out early. And while you might be satisfied with a top 4 with Madden that's only just played a few tournaments, with Vladden coming in, I think it's the way the performance has been made in the semi-final that puts a sour taste in your mouth.
With FaZe being a weakened element, a team that have struggled, you'd think that illwill would take that chance to strike. They have not. Madden down first in the pistol. FaZe on track for another early win once again. Twist will fall next at one trade found by Vlad and Carrigan, getting caught aggressing into the apartments. D can get that trade back, but Frozen is not done. 2 picks for him in the round overall, 3 on 2 to favour FaZe. Bomb making its way in towards B, underpass being taken by the C team. Raps, Jacob could come in from market. Decides to go out towards short instead. Either way, the bomb's getting planted. FaZe are up for the retake.
The double flank out to the apartments might catch the T side off guard. If they get the first kill, they'll probably just expect double short or double market.
Frozen keeps his head tucked down. Looks into the van. The teammates right behind him start firing back. illwill just giving chase to try and find players, extending. The bombs a little bit opened up. Both players back from market. CTs have traded places with illwill, getting a kill back on Dia and on Hadji. Easy cleanup, easy retake, pistol win for FaZe.
And I don't think illwill have done anything wrong in that 2v3. They've got themselves a post plant, they're taking space, and there's just no one CT. No matter how deep they go, they can't find anyone. They're all coming through from short in the apartments. At least if there was one, you'd be able to work that pick, get a 2v2, there's something in the round. Unfortunate. And it's another round that goes the way of FaZe. It's just the mid-pressure coming through from Frozen, and it's the individual ability that's been such a joy to watch, just so sharp.
Seven that are good on FaZe. Frozen can extend towards short. Access Vladden's casualty. Dia with 2 back on a return, trying to find a way out for illwill. Good for the 1 strike. 2 extensions, however, going to catch him off guard. And Jacob, even caught in the jump face, still finds his return.
7 kick is hoping for some pressure out there from short. And Twist is wrapping around, so he can flank out towards either A and get info, or even wrap in from TV and probably win the round. Carrigan's deep on B. Jacob's also low, but he's rotating over.
Carrigan hearing footsteps coming into the apartment, still drops that bomb. That's enough. Teammates inbound. He'll stand at attention for first contact against the next pistol. Tags up Hadji, takes down Madden, and Hadji will fall the same to the captain. And FaZe storming ahead to that place in the grand final.
And this is back-to-back 11-3 scorelines in a semi. I mean, that's crazy. No matter who your opponent is, in any semi-final on LAN, whether it's a massive underdog or it's a competitive series from, let's just say, the team's point of view, the level that they play at, you're expecting a challenge, right? You're expecting a fight. You are not expecting blowout maps. Oh, boy. Great sequence. Great movement there from Carrigan. And what a series this has been from Frozen. 24-11 on map number 1, 14-6 on map 2.
illwill tagged up so early here. Hadji. 1 or 2 pistols, part of a force buy because they know that they can't bring a comeback to overtime, not with a 9-round advantage on FaZe's part. Need to shut this down from here, much like how it was out in the last map up. 7 kick, Goosh down, aim punch, throws off his shot towards Frozen. Jacob can start off the kill counts on Hadji. Brokey can deal with Vladin as well. M4 back at Tetris. Twist, I don't think it's away with damage on Dia, but Dia will swing back and immediately get put down by the youngster. Madden with 1 returning frag, trying to make this look somewhat competitive. And known there towards the close range bomb site. Edge of smoke, Broker's going to face him, and 7 kick. With 7 HP. Down and out of this round. 9 map and series points for FaZe.
And such a difference in performance from FaZe in the quarters to the semi. In that game against Cybershock, they were clawing comebacks at the end. They won 8 rounds in a row to close Mirage, and then 5 in a row to get Dust 2 over the line. So from, let's say, the first half and even the middle section of the second, it was quite back and forth. It was quite a contest. There was even times where Cybershock had leads. Here has been anything but that. It's been instant leads and just keep that pressure up, keep the momentum going. illwill have even got a rubbish buy here for round 16, which should be the last of the game.
Khalil's on 4. Gio going to get Jacob down to start. And WP and Brokey a little bit pressure with the numbers game. Still catches 7 kick on a no-scope. Leaning in, sees that player and can on. No, it doesn't quite get Madden. Turns away at the wrong moment. Advantage for the FaZe side as they quickly turn around. 2 trades on Carrigan and Twist. Madden going to be seen. Carrigan will take that thing back before he drops. And HE towards Madden leaves it all on Vladin. Still low frags. 4 kills in this game. Bottom of the board. Needs to surge up to the highs. Hits Frozen. 1 more man left. Twists. Known towards Connector. Vladin needs the burst. The M4 coming in closer and closer. Oh, and he takes him down. Vladin finally shows up a good round for illwill.
Crazy to think that Vladin's had 2 very good clutches, both on map 1 of Nuke and map 2 of Mirage, but yet his numbers are just quite limited. Against BetClick, he dropped 22 on the first and then 22 on the second. Had a great series. And this has been tough from everyone. I mean, that round didn't even have legs in it. You've got the NWP struggling out towards Connector, and yet even still, FaZe find a way to almost make this retake happen. Vladin in the 1v2 survives, but for how long? It did take FaZe a little while to close out Nuke. I mean, we do need to remember that.
It is true, but they did close it out in the end. illwill, again, looking for 9 in a row. First one has been found. First kill in this round by Brokey on the AWP. One of 2 main staple weapons in this force buy. Big Green, Carrigan's M4, and a couple of SMGs of Frozen and Twists. Vladin walk up. Carrigan's going to catch him. Oh, not like this again, illwill. Lesser buys have caught them in the past. And this round, they'll get back control of Carrigan and extend back towards Jacob. So 3-on-3 established from range. The SMG fights, and still Hadji takes him down. Twitter response, but now he solo holds the A-bomb site.
And Madden's heard him rotating out there towards triple and CT, but you're still worried about the other player. Brokey has not rotated off of B. He got that pick, what, 30, 40 seconds ago, and he's still maintaining the site.
Bomb has been planted.
Madden can hear the first, fight the second. Now Twist should be best to grab the AWP and save it. He's wary of Madden re-extending. He will get away pretty much scot-free. Exit frag. And doesn't quite land here, actually, maybe not so easily. Smokes up, sees his man, takes down Madden, so in the end he is safe. The round will still go the way of illwill though. FaZe protect one gun for the next bar.
And this is a moment for Brokey just to go and get some body Kevlar, use the AWP to force something aggressive, but not have too much around it. And for illwill, I think anything is now just not so much about surviving, but give the viewers something to enjoy. There's been very few rounds where we've seen that quality, we've seen some excitement. You watched illwill earlier against Betclic and against Zero Tenacity. They were fun to watch. I always enjoy watching, let's say, the mixed teams that come in with no expectations, stand-ins, because they've got a flair about them, right? They're quite individual, they're quite egotistical with how they have to play, just because they don't have the structure, they don't have the strat book to rely on. But the way that they've conducted themselves in this best of three, it feels as if we're watching the game, but really all we're doing is watching FaZe.
Yeah. It's the thing that disappoints me the most about illwill was the fact that we've bigged up so many elements to provide that impact, particularly Vlad and Dia, and they have been guys that have been lacking in this series. Dia bottomed out the board in the last map up. Vladen took his time to get started, eventually rose up the rankings in terms of the HLTV ratings, and it has to be the case right here and now if he wants to post up something decent. I mean, you even had illwill to win this series because of how lackluster FaZe have looked, and well, they have done in other competitions. In this one, though, and particularly in this matchup, I mean, look at the confidence they've got. The force buys back in again to try and close this whole game down.
Yeah, they've been a joy to watch across the playoffs. Some people were probably expecting Cybershock to maybe take a map, for illwill to potentially take a map as well, just to pressurize them, and it's been back-to-back games that have looked very comfortable. Oh, already, instantly, not even 20 seconds into the round and they're getting a kill.
Man just gave himself over there. And Haji, of course, dead. The man that really surged into life for the majority of that last map for illwill. The reason why, in my opinion, they were able to start to make a comeback happen, or they made some of those rounds close. Carrigan searching, will get caught off guard, so there's no extension there from FaZe. It's back to a 4-on-4 for the time being.
It's a pretty heavy gamble towards B. You've got the AWP sitting in market, you've got two short players, and then Jacob, who's got, what, Deagle armor, less than 50 HP, defending Con, A-Main, and Palace. So if there is going to be an A-Lane, which looks likely, it's going to be very difficult for him to do anything.
Execution in the 40-second marker. Jacob going to take some damage. 4-for-7 kick, missing shots in mid, second face. Disallowed by Twist, advantage now. Nearly extended as Dia nearly went down there. But bombs on site and should get planted.
Well, they need to take some CT space. Dia finally gets away with one. It's going to be difficult for the pole to do too much else, just because of the HP bar.
Winnable 3-on-3 right now for FaZe. But they are going to back off, deciding not to do so without a kit. Without automatic weapons. And Dia and Marlon get away with that one. But even still, FaZe brought in mostly pistols, getting away with an extra AWP. Stealing weapons back away from the illwill side. Post up number 6. Brokey tries to go for another. Doesn't quite get the shot together. And the gap closes once again at illwill. Making the best of this late game resurgence, but still have 6 to go to overtime.
And the last time that FaZe played Mirage before they came into this competition was in Bucharest in Romania at Draclan. But they took on AIM Club, which is basically the second, third best Romanian team behind Nexus. And that is Urson, Zoots, Edom. Those are guys that have all been kicked from Nexus in the past. And even that, they got more rounds. AIM Club was able to get 8 in that map.
To highlight the litmus test and the chain logic that we expected to see out of illwill here. Instead, Vlad and Madden taking damage in the nades. Comes the execution, set piece into the A-bomb site. 3 men to defend. 1 site, 1 CT, 1 jungle. CT player comes up with Jacob's kills on the central side defensive. 3 kills out of the pole. USP tries to convert back, but Martin puts him down. Still, he's done all that he needs to do. Frozen a deal with Martin. 7 kick alone. 1v4 to save illwill in the playoffs. As he leans forward, he gets put right back down for it. FaZe, a great series overall. 2-0. We'll move on to the grand finals of HLC Cyprus.
Very impressive coming through from FaZe, and they've only looked stronger as this competition has gone on. I think we saw at times some stressing affairs, not from the score lines, but how some of the rounds went down in the group stage, especially against Drama. And then they come into the quarterfinal against Cybershock, really show their depth and their talent in the second halves of both of those maps. And then right here, I mean, back-to-back 11-3 score lines against a team that has been in LAN